Hey everyone, Caleb with the Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with a very interesting video, and that is the fact that condition matters with books, which is so obvious, but also that children's picture books can be worth a lot, and on top of all of that, something that can basically tell you right off the bat if you got the pricing right for your book, and if your book's going to sell lickety-split. So, with all that said and done, I'm just going to show you guys the book. So, this book, as you guys can see, is the Iliad and the Odyssey. So, as you guys probably know, that is a popular story. It's been around for a couple of years, give or take. And this book right here, I actually bought it early on in my business, and I never got around to listing it. So the reason why I never got around to listing it was just because I got enough other books that it went into the death pile and just sat there because I got busy, you know? And there are a lot of books that I have bought, and I actually have a little stack of them over there that I bought and still have yet to list because I get distracted sometimes. So this book, I knew when I bought it that it was worth a good chunk of money, but I sort of wanted to hang on to it because I was like, okay, when I started this business, the economy just wasn't quite where I wanted it because when the economy does really well, books are worth more. When it does not as well, they're worth less. I knew that if I held on to this book for a little bit, it'd be worth a little bit more money just from that standpoint alone. So that's one of the reasons why I held on to it. Now with the economy going down, it's not going to be worth quite as much, but hey, whatever happens. But it's still worth a good chunk. So this book right here, guys, I have it listed for $50. When I first listed it, I got one watcher right away. I think I'm up to 3 watchers right now, and it's just been a couple of days. And when that happens, you guys know that you priced it right first off, or you even underpriced it, which might mean you might want to up it, but for me, I'm into selling the book more than I am to hanging on to it forever. But for me, I got watchers right away. I got a couple offers already. I've not accepted them all, but $50 is what I'm asking. Other people with this same book are asking between $79.99 and $175. So basically $80 and $175. So a lot more than what I'm asking for $50, hence why I haven't accepted an offer, because it's like, okay, mine's not that terrible. But this book is an ex-library book, which does hurt the age. So as you guys can see here, it's got the ex-library, sticker on the bottom there. It's got a discard from the library. It's got the barcode from the library. It's got a couple other things throughout the book that are the ex-library sort of stuff. It's got an embossed thing from the library. It's got another stamp. All that sort of stuff throughout the book. Of course, it's not too extreme. Some books, I've seen some where they have it like on every page, and it's like, what kind of library are you running, man? I can't even read this book with all these stamps. But this one is obviously an ex-library book, so it does affect the value. It's not going to be worth as much as the pristine ones that they might be trying to sell. The ones that I saw, there weren't any that were pristine, but if they did have one that was pristine, it could be worth a whole lot. So with that said, though, guys, this is a children's book. It's got illustrations. It's really pretty. And it's basically the story of the Odyssey and the Iliad. And it's a children's book, though. I mean, I'm sure if you guys have done this business for a while, you're like, wait, what? Children's books are worth something? Now, I know there are some of you guys that children's books are your bread and butter, but there's others of us that have avoided children's books because we don't make as much money, generally. But that being said, there are some that are worth a good chunk of money. Like for this book here, I'm selling it for $50. I paid 50 cents for it, so I think that's an okay markup. I think I'm okay with that. But something that's really interesting is some children's books, they're worth a whole lot because it's a classic story, like the Odyssey and the Iliad. That's a classic story. People know it. Other ones, these books can be really valuable because it's only a first edition or it's a limited run of a very popular story, stuff like that. And other times, which I think is the case potentially with this one, it's based on the illustrators. So this one's illustrated by Alice and Martin Provenson. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, but I don't really care. And for some reason, when I was listing this book, all the people that were also selling this book were mentioning that. So I'm curious if those 2 illustrators are really good illustrators that are basically legendary based on their artwork. I would say they are good artists because their stuff looks very good. It definitely matches the entire feel of Greek art at the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's where a lot of the value for this derives from. But that's something that you guys can look at when you guys are into this children's book selling. If you've done it for years and years, you'll know different illustrators basically, and you'll know, oh, this illustrator did this one, that book's instantly worth $20 more. Oh, this illustrator did that one, oh, this book's worth $5,000. Stuff like that. That's something that you guys will learn as you do this business longer and longer. You'll learn the different illustrators, the different authors, the different publishers even. So this book, let's just look at the publisher. Maybe the publisher is something important. So hopping on over, Golden Press New York is what that says. And looking over here, yeah, Golden Press is the company that did this. So I've never heard of Golden Press, but maybe Golden Press is the reason why this is worth so much. So honestly, guys, if you find children's books, if you find ones that are like, okay, why is this worth so much? It might be worth looking up these different things, because you can then look for that in different books when you guys are running your own business. And as I said earlier, as soon as I listed this, I got one, like literally, guys, like 3 minutes. As soon as I listed it, I got my first watcher. Another day and I got another 2, and I think I might even be past 3 now that I think about it. But I've gotten quite a few watchers in just the short amount of time that it's been listed. And looking at the date right now, it's been 3 days since I listed it. And again, I've gotten a couple offers. Sorry, I had to set it aside. I've gotten a couple offers. I've denied them so far because I'm pretty sure this book's worth more than that, seeing as how I've had so much interest in it already. And honestly, if it doesn't sell too quick, yeah, I'll accept an offer. But until then, I'm just going to keep on being firm at my price for $50. And again, I paid 50 cents, so I can accept basically whatever price I want and make out pretty well. But it's just something that's really interesting. Again, guys, condition matters. If this book wasn't an ex-library book, if it didn't have the stickers, if it didn't have all these issues, I could be charging the $175 that other people are asking. But because of that, I won't be able to ask just as much. But once again, condition matters with these books. For me, I stored this book with all my other books that I store very well, so it didn't get any water damage, it didn't have any mice, it didn't have any problems with it. But if it got damaged even while I had it, it could hurt the value, and that's something that is definitely worth keeping track of in your guys' own businesses. In fact, on the topic of condition, so the estate sale that I've mentioned in quite a few other videos now, that house, I guess, was vacant for a little while, and guys, it had so much rat pee and rat poo smell in the air that my eyes actually watered a little bit. I mean, it was pretty bad, and that's where they had all the books, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, you guys, these books are so bad. And I paid $5 a piece for some of these books. They, as I mentioned, invited me back, and I paid $1 a book for those, and for cookbooks I paid 50 cents a piece. So that was a little bit nicer, but I had to run my ozone machine on these books for a little while. I still have a couple of books that don't smell quite as good as I want them to, but ozone, guys, I'll do a video on that in the future. It's a great way to get rid of odors on books. It's not the best thing for books. Ozone is very reactive, so it can damage your books if you expose it too much too long, but just a little bit. It shouldn't do too much damage. Again, guys, I'll do a video on that in the future, but it's a good way to get rid of odors. So with all that said and done, though, guys, the Iliad, really cool book. I held on to it a little too long before I finally decided to list it. I feel a little bit bad about that, but the oversized books, for some reason, I always sit on a little bit too long anyway, so I don't know. But with all that said and done, though, guys, be sure to check out one of my other videos, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop a like, drop a comment. Tell me what cool books that you've found that are children's books, because I think it's pretty interesting which ones are worth a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video.